everybody. Hope you're doing well. Now that trapping season is over here in the Ozarks, thought I'd do a few videos on some things that I've been trying to get to for a while and just haven't had time to do so because the trapping season was going on. What I've been doing now is just basically putting up fur. I don't have a ton of fur put up. I'm looking over there right now at what's hanging. I've probably got 10 or 12 coyotes put up. Looks like there's about 4 cats up there, maybe half a dozen coons, 3 or 4 possums, 1 gray fox because I harvested it because it was injured in the trap. So that's kind of where I am. Got a lot more fur clearly to put up an entire freezer full actually, but I'm slowly starting to work through that. I'm doing, 2 or 3 pelts every day, trying to at least, working through my pile of pelts. In between doing other things. But the purpose of this video is I really wanted to do an update to our bobcat trapping video. I get a ton of comments and also messages and things of that nature about trapping bobcats. And I did a video a couple years ago. Honestly, it wasn't that good as far as some of the stuff I was trying to show you. The information I think was really good, but I think it could just be updated and be a little bit cleaner. So that's what we're going to try to do today. So bobcat trapping, let's talk for a minute about bobcat trapping. Bobcat trapping is a little different than canine trapping, clearly. They're different animals, they're clearly different, and they're attracted to different things. So let's talk a little bit about bobcats, and then I want to talk about some sets, and we're going to show you an actual bobcat set. And then I want to talk to you about a few intangibles when it comes to catching bobcats. So the first thing we have to know about bobcats is if you're going to trap bobcats, you have got to be on location. And I think for cats, that's even more important than even for canines. Canines are a little more predictable in certain respects than cats, but cats are pretty predictable in the respect of if you've caught cats in a place historically, there'll be cats there again. And that kind of just seems to repeat itself over and over and over again. I have specific places every year that I will catch cats, no matter if I'm trying to catch them or I'm trying to set there for canines, but you just will catch them year after year after year after year. It's just pretty reliable that you're going to catch cats in these certain places. So with cats, it's all about putting your traps where the cats are. You've got to be right in their face to get a cat. You don't have to worry about some of the things that you have to worry about with canines, especially coyotes, about them being so skittish and them being so weary and all those kinds of things. Cats are not that way. Cats are not scared of anything. They're not skittish. They're not weary. It either attracts a cat's attention or it doesn't attract a cat's attention. If it doesn't, they'll walk right past it, just like a coyote. But if it does, they'll just walk right in there. They're not worried about anything. They're not scared of anything. So in that respect, they're completely different. But you've got to get your trap where the cats are. I mean, you've got to stick it under their nose. And then if you do, you have a tendency to catch them. Most people think that cats have horrible smelling, and while their nose is not as good as a coyote, they can smell pretty darn good. So don't underestimate them on that. And then we all know about flagging, and we've heard about flagging and those kinds of things. And that is really, really important. So for distance eyesight, bobcats do not have really good eyesight. They can see at distance, but as you get farther out there, unlike a coyote who can see clear at distance, a cat's vision gets blurry as it goes farther out. So something that's, 200 yards away that a coyote can zero in on pretty good with vision, a cat can't as well. So it might be a little blurry to them. So it's really important that you have some kind of flagging, even if it's 50, 60 yards away, because a cat is going to see that motion, a cat's going to see that color. Even if it's blurry, he's going to be attracted to that, hopefully, and then come to your set. And then as it gets closer, it's going to have better vision, and then it's going to be, attracted to your set and may, smell what you got going on at your set as well. Don't underestimate that. So flagging is really super important. So first is about location, and second is about flagging, okay? So location, flagging. Third is no matter what kind of set we put in, whether it's a dirt hole set or you're building a cubby or a specific cat set or whatever you're trying to do to catch these cats, cats have a tendency, and you can read about this, you can put game cameras out, you can do whatever you want. Cats have a tendency to hang up. And by that, I mean, they'll hang up somewhere around 18 inches, 2 feet, 16 inches, somewhere in that range out in front of, let's say you have a dirt hole set with, I don't know, some feathers stuck down in the hole. You can do that in your state. We can do that here in Missouri. And you have that set up, right? That's all you got going on. And maybe you got some flagging hanging over your set. Something super, super basic. It's not uncommon at all for those cats to roll up there to try to decide if they want to do this or not, and then hang up. And most of the time what they'll do is they'll actually just sit down. They'll actually sit down on their butt with their legs, kind of up, and their head is up, and they'll just sit there and look. If you have a house cat, I don't have house cats, I'm not a fan of house cats, but if you do have a house cats will do the same thing. They'll just sit and watch and sit and look and decide, what am I going to do with this? And for cats really only have 3 focuses in life. Okay, a canine kind of has 3, but cats really only have 2. Can I eat this? Can I have sex with it? That's it. That's their life. Can I eat it? Can I have sex with it? So when they roll up there and they sit down, I have no idea what's going on in their mind, but I'm assuming they're trying to decipher, do I want to go over here and mess with this? Can I eat it? Is it something that I think I can get? Is it prey? Or clearly it's not something for me to have sex with, so the whole sexual component is out the window. So it's got to be one of those 2 things. So you got to make sure that if you're actually trapping for cats, you put that trap, 18 inches or so out in front of whatever it is that you have going on. If you have a cubby, it needs to be, 18 inches out in front of that cubby, away from whatever you got going on. And I'll show you how we do that in this video about setting up a cat set. And then if it's a dirt hole, same thing. It's got to be out in front. And I know this is like, are you shitting me? You really want me to put my trap, almost 2 feet out in front? This will greatly increase your catches, because some of these cats are going to hang up, they're going to look around, and then they're going to leave. And they may not ever come back. So you have an opportunity to catch them if they do this. So with that being said, you want to increase your opportunities to catch as many cats as possible. So that's why if I'm actually trying to catch cats, I'm going to put in a cat-specific set. Now, every year I'll catch 15, 17, maybe 20 cats that I don't have any cat-specific sets set up for. But that's just because I have a lot of bobcats in the Ozarks, and I'm putting traps in an area where there are cats, and they're coming by, and some of them are getting caught in my canine sets, clearly. If I had game cameras out there, I'd probably see that I'm missing, I don't know how many, a third maybe, again, as many cats, maybe more, maybe half, who knows? So if I was really trying to catch cats, I would be setting cat sets. So what does a cat set look like? So I'll show you kind of how I set up my cat sets so you can kind of get an idea of what those things look like. Okay, so we're down here in this bottom. We just caught a bobcat, actually right over there in a dirt hole. And we put another set down here just because this spot is just so good. And there's a lot of cat, obviously, sign down here. Even over here by this old RV camper trailer thing, camper over there. As Steve was going over there, smelling around, snooping around, he's like, I can just smell the mice over here. So we went ahead and put in an actual cat set. Come here, Athena. Put in an actual cat set. We use this brush right here as our backing. We put together a little kind of cubby. We have some Christmas ornaments that are gonna, obviously everything is gonna see from wherever they are. It's gonna bring them right over here. And then as you can see from the side, you can see the Christmas decorations, but you really can't see anything else. And that's exactly what we want. We want that cat to come over here, see the Christmas decorations, and really only be able to see what's back in there when they're standing out here in the middle, not from the sides over here. You can see the flagging, but you can't see anything else. That's exactly what we want, because then he won't come in from the side. He has to only come in from one way. Plus, we've got him blocked from every other way. Now, once he gets up here, he's going to hopefully see our flagging. Then he's going to come up here and he's going to see all of our down feathers we have. We put a big, huge dirt hole in the back. We've got some Kathmandu, some feline fix, a little Bobcat urine in there as well. And we have all that down in there with this big old dirt hole. And then hopefully he's going to come right up here in the front. We've got him pinched in. He's probably going to go right, because they usually will go right. And when he goes right, he's going to have to step over that stick. He's going to step right before that stick to get his footing right. We also have a step stick there and a step stick there and another step stick right over here. And right there is our trap, and he's going to hopefully be on it. If for some reason we miss him as he's going in there, hopefully we'll catch him on the way back out. And the trap itself is about 20 inches out in front of our dirt hole. So hopefully when he hangs up in that 16 to 18 to 20 inch range, even if he decides I'm not going in there, we're going to catch him right there anyway. So that's kind of the plan. We'll see how it goes. Okay, now that you've seen how I set up my cat sets, it's not genius. Clint Locklear does cat sets this way. I can probably name you half a dozen other trappers that I know that does cat sets this way. My trapping buddy Steve sets cat sets this way. I know lots of people that set them this way. And the reason that we do is because if you really want to catch cats, you've got to set a cat specific set. And you've got to have that trap out in front. But what we also want to do is we want to force where that cat's going to go. And I do not want to let him see my set from the side. When he gets on the side, all I wanted to see is that flagging. He comes to the flagging, and then once he's at the flagging, then he can see the set, and then he goes into the cubby and goes right through the trap. And I've set it up so that he kind of has to step on that trap. And I have that trap, that 18 to 20 inches out in front of whatever I've got inside my cubby. Have I got a rabbit in there? Have I got a squirrel hanging in there? Do I have a big dirt hole in there with some bait down in it? What do I have going on in there? I want that out in front so that when he stops and hangs up, probably right at that entrance to that cubby, that's about 2 feet, I still have a chance to catch him if he hangs up right there, right? So here's the end of my cubby. My trap's right here. I'm going to force him to go in there, and hopefully I'm going to catch him even if he hangs up and decides, I don't want to really go in there. Boom, I've still got him, all that. So basically you want to do the location. You want to have a cat specific set. You got to have some kind of flagging. Can be whatever you want to use. You can use wings, you can use DVDs, you can use Christmas ornaments. It doesn't matter what you want to use. I think Jeff Dunlop talks about his flaming cat set. I agree with that. Locklear talks about, cats being like a little kid that just ate a bag full of Skittles. I think that's right. So when you make your set, make it big, make it flashy, make it so that he wants to go in there and check it out. And I put feathers all over inside my cubby. I hang a squirrel or a rabbit, mainly because Athena catches squirrels and rabbits in the summer. And when she catches squirrels, which is usually 7, 8, 9 a year, she'll bring them to me, and then I'll just grab them and put them in the freezer. And then if I'm going to make cat sets, that I do it. And then I use feathers, clearly. And then I hang some kind of flagging. If I have wings, I'll hang a wing. But if I don't, I'll hang a DVD, or I'll hang Christmas ornaments like you just saw in that last cat set. Hang something so that they can see that from no matter where they are. And then they have to come to the flagging. And then once they get to the flagging, when they're standing right there under the flagging, then only then can they see your set. I don't want them to be able to see the set from the sides or the back, because then I can't control them as much coming from different directions. I want them to come right here and from point A to go to point B. It's so much different than trapping for coyotes, because you really can control these cats and you want to control them. So it's really pretty simple. If you just remember, location is key, flagging is a key, cat-specific sets is a key, control that cat, bring him to where you want him to be, put your trap 18 to 20 inches out in front, and then give him some reason to go in there. And I get lots of questions about, what kind of baits am I going to use? What kind of lures am I going to use? So if I'd say cat-specific set, you can use really whatever kind of bait you want to use. I like to use squirrels or rabbits or something that I can hang in there or nail to the side of a tree inside my cubby so that it can see it in there. It can see it hanging in there. It can go, wow, look at that. That's something for me to go get. They can clearly smell it. And then I will add some Bobcat urine. I will add some Bobcat lure in there, maybe a couple different kinds of lure, just because I'm a big believer in that these cats can smell a lot more than what we think. And I want them to be able to smell lure. I want them to be able to smell the squirrel or the rabbit that I have hanging in there. And if you don't have squirrels or rabbit, just use bait. Just put bait in there. You can dig a little dirt hole in the back. I would make it really big and really flashy. Put some bait down in there. Put some feathers all over the place inside of there. Make it really, really flashy. Maybe even hang another Christmas ornament on the back of your hole down in there. Just make it as big and as flashy as you can make it. And then out in the front, you have your flagging, however that is, and then you got it. And if you do all these things, I think you'll see that you'll improve your catches on cats. I guess that's the right way to describe it. Cats are not hard. It's just making a cat-specific set and putting it in the right place. And if you do that, you're going to catch cats. And then the other thing that I find with cats is it's kind of like gray foxes, I think. If I catch a cat, it's pretty common for me to catch another cat right there within a few days or a week. A lot of times you'll catch the female, then you'll catch the male, or you'll catch the male, then you'll catch the female. Just like a gray fox where you'll catch a fox and then 4 or 5 days later, 3 days later, whatever it is, you'll catch the other one. It's pretty common for me to do that with cats as well. So I just if I catch a cat in a cubby or something, I just build it back and put it right back like it is. What are some problems that you'll have with some of these cubby sets? Will you get a coon that goes in there and tears it up from time to time? Yes. Will you get a possum that goes in there and tears it up from time to time? Yes. I've never caught a coyote in a cubby. I've seen a few guys that do catch coyotes in cubbies, like Todd in Kentucky. Todd's Backwoods Living. I think he catches coyotes in cubbies. I just don't have that where I am. I've never, ever caught a coyote in a cubby. I have caught a gray fox or two, but it's pretty rare. If I catch anything in there, it's usually a coon or a possum, and then they tear the whole thing up. And I almost always, in fact, I always do, I always put my cat sets in a cubby like that on a drag, because I want that critter to get the heck out of my cubby on that drag and not tear it up so much, because I've put all this effort into building it. So if I can throw the drag outside of the cubby, have the chain outside of the cubby, so that when he gets caught, he's out of that cubby, and then he goes and gets caught and hung up somewhere else, that will help you in the long run, so you don't have to keep rebuilding your cubby all the time. If you stake that thing, even if you catch a coon, he is going to tear the actual crap out of your cubby, and you'll be building the whole thing all over again. So put it on a drag, get him the heck out of there, and then you can come back and easily put your cubby back in. So hope that helps. If there's any questions, make sure you put them down in the comments. If there's something I missed, I didn't even actually make a list or anything, so I'm just doing this off of memory and out of my head. So if I missed something, let me know. But I hope that helps you catch some cats, and you put some nice cats up in your area and improve your catching ability. So be careful out there. Talk to you soon. Have a great day.